Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. Uh, I'm going to have to make a confession. I I've been doing this for 10 years. Making these YouTube videos for everyone. And I've I've come to the conclusion that I am somehow mentally challenged because there is not a radio controlled anything that I have been able to successfully drive. Whether it's a remote car, boat, helicopter, plane, or drone. If it's got those little paddles and the thing, I can't even do video games, man. Right? Can't do it. Can't do it. Right? Can't do it. And it's been frustrating because I've bought 2 drones and either crashed them or gave them away. Uh, Christmas has been embarrassing around little kids who can sit there, 2-year-olds, and they can drive. I can't do it. I can't. I can fly $1 million airplanes and helicopters. I can drive a fast car, but I can't do the drone thing. So, and I am a single person doing these videos. I don't have a camera person. I don't have a big studio. I don't have any of that other crew that a lot of you guys, well, I don't know how many of those guys follow my channel, but a lot of them have. But I've been strangled because I have to be doing something. I have to be holding something. I have to be like I'm doing right now. Okay, I'm in my urban assault vehicle, and I have to have it sitting in a specific spot for me to touch. And so I can't be even more dynamic. If I go to the range and I want to do some moving things that I see some of the YouTube guys do and ladies, I can't do it because you got to have somebody running the camera until now. This is a drone. This is not just any kind of drone. It's a drone that even I can fly. And I don't have to fly it. This is some awesome tech. First of all, it doesn't weigh anything. It's just a little guy, right? And then you just open the wings up, right? Right? And it's called the Hover. Let me put it up. It's called the Hover. This is the Hover X1. This thing is so awesome. It's just so awesome because it flies itself. I don't have to touch anything. I just tell it to fly, and it's a selfie stick without the stick, and it follows you, right? It makes you the center. Now, how does it do that? It's magic, but I'll show you. It maintains positional awareness from a bottom-facing camera, which is that, right? And then it tracks you, the target, with the front-facing camera, and the camera's on a gimbal, so it stays focused on you. You tell it, hover in front of my face, and then just stay there, right? And you can be talking with your hands and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of like this, but only better. And you can tell it to hover it above a certain altitude, low or high. The other thing it can do is follow you. This is the cool part. You can tell it to follow me, right? Follow me. And you just hit the button and it follows you. If you're walking, it's going to be in front of you. And so it's going to get the frontal view, and you can be turning and walking. You can be running, and it'll follow you running. It just picks up speed, right? If you stop and back up, it's going to follow you. It wants, because you are the center. You are the center of this thing. If you want it to follow you from the rear, let's say you're on a bike or running and you want to follow it from the rear, it will do that. It has a maximum speed of 15 miles an hour, which is pretty fast run and reasonably fast bike ride. You can have it circle you at some radius, right? And it'll take a video around you. It'll zoom out, right? And get a panoramic view of you. That's all you have to do is push a button and say, do that, and it does it. When it's time to land, it's like calling a dog, man. You just put your hand out, and it goes, okay, and it just comes back and comes over your hand and then lands on your hand. I was laughing. I've been playing with this thing for a couple of days, and I went, okay, come on back. Like, it can hear me, right? It can't. You cannot fly it over water because it needs this camera on the bottom. It needs reference. It needs texture reference. So that's the limitation. You can't fly it over something that has no texture, like blanket of snow. It wouldn't be able to do that. It can fly in wind, but the wind speed can't be more than maybe 10 knots. I haven't tested it that way. The maximum altitude is 30 feet above you, which is enough. So you can't tell it to go, up 1,000 feet. So you don't have to worry about all that FAA licensing and stuff. The other thing is, it has to be, because of that altitude, you can't be at the balcony of an apartment or whatever and then have it fly out of the balcony to take a picture coming in, because then it loses reference to the ground. So it's a selfie for you, right? So think selfie stick on steroids without the stick, right? Now it has, batteries right there. The battery is about 9 minutes. So you got about 9 minutes of flight time. That's why I have 3 batteries, right? But most of my video messages have been under 10 minutes. Most of them, unless I'm doing a rant or something like this, which is a tutorial. It's an amazing, and it's so light. And this is with the battery in it. It's very, very light. It's called the Hover. I'll put it back up again. The Hover X1. And if you've been struggling with wanting to do more, but you're stuck behind a desk, on the microphone, whatever, you don't have to do that anymore. You could be anywhere and change your location. So I'm going to continue practicing with this. What I want to be able to do with this is do some range things where I can have the camera in front of me, directly in front of me, in the line of fire, right? And do some dynamic movement and shooting without having to worry about another person trying to drive a drone to stay, out of harm's way. So this will stay, I can tell it, go directly in front of me, but be up 2 feet. So now I can still fire directly I can move, it'll follow me. I can do dynamic moving and shooting, or dynamic drills, but right in front of the camera can be right in front of me, right? So that's kind of the idea that I want to do this thing with. I'm so happy that I got it. It's $400, tax and license and everything. And you can get, I got black, you can get white. But if you get one of these things, you're going to be having so much fun, like me. Anyway, that's my story this morning. I'm sticking to it. Thanks for coming back to the channel. If you like the content, subscribe. If you haven't already, hit the bell icon so you get notified. And as I always say, wherever you can, whenever you can, however you can, carry on.